Are you a nonprofit wondering when is it appropriate to start seeking out grant funding? Well, this video is for you. Hi, my name is Adrena. I am the owner and accountant here at Accounting by Adrena, and this video is actually the first video in a four-part series on grant funding. And I'm really excited to start talking about grant funding for nonprofits because I have over 15 years of experience working with nonprofits, working with grants in nonprofits. And so this is just going to be my opinion, and it's going to be my opinion based off of my 15 years of experience. And so just take it at that. I would love to hear if you have any other thoughts to offer. Go ahead and drop them down in the comments section below, and let's begin. Now, the first piece of this video I'd like to offer is just the thought process behind when you might be ready to start seeking out grant funding. In the very beginning, you will need to consider if your nonprofit is ready for grant funding. Now, my first point to this one is if you have the team bandwidth, the support, and the willingness from your team. It's possible that there will be a chunk of time the team will need to devote to either assisting with writing the grant proposal, keeping track of the data, and any other pertinent tasks that is involved with grant funding. It's important to remember that this is a team effort, and you'll need to enlist your team members to help with the completion of certain tasks. They'll need to have an understanding and a certain amount of buy-in before even proceeding. My second point to this is with regards to the grant management plan. Now, as an organization, you'll need to decide who will be in charge of tracking any deliverables that the grant may request. This can include finance and non-financial data. Oftentimes, there is one employee who is deemed the grant manager, and that person is really the person in charge of gathering all of these documents. But if the lines aren't very clear, or if you don't have the manpower, then it is very crucial to establish them before even applying for grant funding. So if you have one staff member and one finance member, maybe they can work together, and you would need to define those roles very specifically before even moving forward. Next, we want to make sure that there is time. So writing a grant takes a lot of work and a lot of time. It's no small feat. And for someone like me who plans their day, plans their week, I mean, I can list out any of the videos that I've done regarding time management. It's very crucial to make sure that there is empty space in your staff members' calendar in order to proceed with these grants, because when their grant report is due, it's almost like an all hands on deck situation. The fourth point is KPI. Now, KPI is a fancy term that we like to use, and it really is in relation to key performance indicators. Key performance indicators are available to show and to convince any of the board members or stakeholders who are in charge of decision-making for the nonprofit that the grant will make an impact. So these are kind of like some type of measurement that you want to make sure you are providing in a type of internal report to the board or to a stakeholder, whoever the manager is, whoever the decision holder is in the nonprofit. All right, the next considerations that you want to make as a nonprofit, as a team, is to make sure what kind of grant funding you are actually looking for. And now this means like what exactly will you be using the money for? So there's different types of like grants that are out there. And so when it comes to grant funding, is this going to be for a capital expenditure, a new project, or if this is really just for general operating because you're struggling with your cash flow? So let's dive into that a little bit. Now, capital expenditure is really a fixed physical non-consumable asset, such as a new building, upgrading office furniture and equipment, or building out a new website. Now, these are related to your business, but these are not going to be things that are crucial in like selling or marketing, those types of things. So this would be a new building, office furniture and equipment. Let's say you're an older nonprofit and you've been using computers that are from the 1990s Maybe it's time to start upgrading, and you can look for capital expenditure funds to help you fund the upgrade of those new computers. Next is if it's a new project. Now, this is a little bit more elusive and very specific to different types of nonprofits. So this would be really geared towards the programmatic side of the nonprofit. If there is a new project that you can't quite get off the ground and it is related to your mission, then this is a perfect time to seek out grant funding for that new project. Now, struggling cash flow. So, and you can prove that your community is benefiting from your nonprofit, but you really can't seem to make ends meet financially. Then you need general operating funds to help sustain the nonprofit until the membership or donor database is back to normal following any specific set of events. Catastrophe related, pandemic related, economy related, you name it. So that's all I have for you today. I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And thank you for watching. Stay tuned for next week's video, the second part in our grant funding series.